Welcome to another edition of Talking Models. Today we're going to take a look at Typhon Studios' awesome release of Frankenstein's monster, sculpted by Jeff Yagher, available through Mike Calvert over at Typhon Studios. Rumor has it this is winding down. Don't miss out on this beautiful piece. We're going to talk a little bit about today what I did to bring this one to life. I recently had surgery on my leg to remove hardware from a motorcycle accident in 2016. So this is my first video. The leg is all bandaged up in a mobilizer under this table. Good vibes, prayers, and thoughts are appreciated from the modeling community on a quick recovery. So let's take a look at this beautiful piece and see what you get. As you can see, you get this beautiful stone wall. There's a lot of detail in this. You've got the traditional jacket that Frankenstein wore, his shirt. You get this cool nameplate on the bottom, says Frankenstein. You get a beautifully captured head by Jeff Yagher, really capturing the look of Boris Karloff, that somber look as he's holding on to this wall and just kind of looking up, the tormenting of a monster. It's all captured in this beautiful sculpt. You can see all the detail in the face. I'll kind of turn it around. You can see all the work that Jeff did in this. Everything is so well balanced. We'll turn it around to the back, and you can see that there's just so much cleanliness of this. It's just so balanced is the word I'm looking for. We'll turn it to the other side, and you can see just more of the detail in the monster's face. You can just see all that detail in the hair. Then we'll come back front center. And then you can also just see that Jeff just captured that somber look as you look at him. The sadness in his eyes, the bolts on his neck, the scars, everything's there. Just beautifully done. Well done, Mr. Jeff Yagher, and great job, Mike, over at Typhon Studios. So we're going to talk a little bit what I did today with this beautiful kit, so you can kind of understand how I brought this to life. I decided to go with a gray scale, black and white if you will, and that's what I did to bring this one to life. So we started out with some colors. I used this excellent line from George Stevenson over at Blackheart Models. It's a gray scale set. That's what I used in here. So these are the colors that I used to bring this base alive, as you can see. First step up was I used the Badger Freakflex Body Bag Black, and I sprayed the complete base with that. I just shot it over the automotive gray primer and got a nice black tone. I quickly followed that up with the grayscale. It's called Grayscale Black. And this is also from the Badger line, and I shot the whole thing with the black. Just covered it all. Now it was time to bring out the different colors and textures of the stone. A couple different colors was used with that. I shot it first with the Grayscale Dark Gray, which is also from that line from George Stevenson. Shot that over the rocks. Didn't cover all the black gray. I just shot it like in the center of all the stones all the way around the base. I followed that up with their Grayscale Gray, again from that line, and I just kind of added extra accents in all the stones. You want to just kind of go in the center of the stone and just kind of hit all the highlights of the stone. Don't be afraid of getting too crazy with it. You can dull it down. So once I had all that stones done, because I went all the way around the base with that color to get that look that I was looking for, as you see. So then I followed up with their Grayscale White Dark, and I just once again came in and punched in more in the center of each of the stones in the base, all around the bottoms, the fronts, the back. And then of course I quieted it all down with my Calvert Transparent Black. Just kind of shot the whole base with that to kind of tone it down and quiet things down. I hit it a little extra hard in between each line that separates the rocks. Anywhere that you see a line in the sculpt, that's where I punched in with that transparent black. Then, of course, I come back in with that lightest color, the gray-white dark, and I just kind of hit a little more accent on the stones, kind of just dead center of each stone. And then that was the base. The base was done. Now for the monster. On his jacket, again, I did first the Badger Freak Flex Body Bake Black over the complete coat. Then I came in with their the dark gray black, and I shot that once again over the coat. So you got black and then another layer of black. And once I had that done, I enlisted out of the Badger Freak Flex. I enlisted their Nair Black. I love accenting black with that color. And I just started spraying over the whole thing with that Nair Black, just to kind of give it that grayish black look to keep it in the monotone paint scale I was going for. And then, of course, I came back in with that dark gray black and just punched in all the highlights on the coat. Anywhere you see those highlights, sleeves, here in the top of the lapels, all that area was just shot with that gray black, dark gray black. And for his shirt that you see underneath the jacket, that was shot straight up with the gray, scale gray. And then, of course, I accented the folds with that black, just kind of shot to deepen the shadows, if you will. And then I did a light misting of the Nair Black just on certain areas of the shirt, just to give it some separation and some definition, if you will. And then, of course, just a light mist of the transparent black. Boom. So that was all I did with the jacket and the shirt. Now for his skin, I tried a couple different things for that. Let's see what I got here. It was all base coated with that gray, which is called gray scale. I shot the whole head with that. Just the whole thing. You want to leave a hint of the original primer underneath, so I shot the face and all the hands, completely covering that. Then what I did is I came in with that black, the dark gray black, and just started punching in shadows. I went under his cheekbones, up along his forehead, his lips, under his eyes, on his hands, his fingernails. All that was done with that black, dark black gray. And then once I had that done, I simply came back in with the original gray and just kind of punched the highlights. Top of his eyebrows, top of the nose, cheekbones, ears, followed the line of his chin, went all along the neck, punched in a little bit heavier on the all the folds of the fingers, the wrist. You want to just kind of just build that up. So you want to go back with that dark black gray and this original color gray, and just go back and forth till you get the colors you're looking for. Now I did go back in a little bit harder, got a little bit closer with the airbrush, and I accented right here under his eyes, a little bit darker. Under the brow, I like to shoot that, kind of tilt it up and really make that dark so you see the overhang and the separation there. Lips, a little bit harder on the lips, a little bit harder on the fingernails, and I wanted to accent along where he has those brackets and scars around his wrist, on his neck, on his forehead. I kind of just want to do the outline of that, if you will. And then what I'd like to do is what I came in with their grayscale white, and I just hand brushed the center of the scar. I just hand brushed that in around his wrist and on top of the bracket, also the bolt on his forehead, and also his neck bolts. That way it kind of gives a simulation of silver, but you get that light gray, so it appears, as you see, to have that stark difference that pops out. And then what I did is for his eyes, I used there just the regular gray, just the grayscale gray, filled in the eyes, if you will, with that. Came in with the dark gray black, drew in my pupils, and then what I did is I came in with the grayscale white, and I filled in the eyes, leaving a hint of the black ring. You don't have a lot of area to work here. You just got to have your patience packed. Then you draw in the center of that. Then I came back in with that grayscale black, dotted in the pupil. Boom. I did take that black and follow under the eyes, and under the eye along the bottom here. I just did a nice thin line of that black just to help accent that sunken in look that Jack pierced in on the makeup to make his forehead over, his eyes sunken in, his cheeks sunken in. And I tried to simulate all that with the different shading of the black, and coming back in with the gray and airbrushing all the highlights of that. And that was his skin, that was his hands. For his hair, I just simply used that black, dark black gray, airbrushed his hair. Make sure you cover it all. You want to go on the sides, you want to feather that into his face. You also want to feather that in along the back of his hairline. Just really get in there with it and just kind of punch it in. And then you'll get that nice black look, and it really, really just accents beautifully against that gray tones that I had to build this up in a black and white look. And then of course it's just once you get the hair in, you're going to see difference in the face. So now you just go back in with your dark blacks, your light gray, whatever color you decide. Just kind of just re-accent things, get a little bit closer on the eyebrows, that forehead here, the lines on the top of the head. Anywhere you can, you want to just come in and re-punch that up. And before you know it, you'll have this beautiful piece you see setting before you. Now for the sign, I used this grayscale dark gray, and I simply just shot the back of the nameplate with that. The outside of the nameplate, I simply used that dark gray black, and I just hand painted that around, shot the back of it same color with an airbrush. Then it was time for the letters. For the letters for the outer part of the word Frankenstein, I used this grayscale, which is called grayscale, imagine that. And I just hand brushed all the outline of the Frankenstein. And then what I did for the Frankenstein is I came in with that white gray, and I just simply hand painted the words Frankenstein in. And I really like the contrast that you get, from the dark black gray to a lighter, just a simple dark gray to even a lighter gray, and then the lightest gray white to finish off the lettering. And that is Frankenstein's Monster from Typhon Studios. Do yourself a favor, pick this one up. I had gotten finally back into the basement. At the time of this video, it's a Saturday I'm shooting this. Earlier this week on a Monday, I hopped down my stairs into this studio and began painting. What a blessing. Not only did God get me through the surgery, not only am I recovering well, but I'm back behind the bench. So all week, a couple hours here and there, I hopped down, worked on this kit, finished it up Friday, yesterday, shot it with some dull coat, let it dry. Today's Saturday, I'm shooting the video, and here it is. So I noticed I picked up some subscribers since I've been in the hospital after surgery. Thank you so much, guys and gals, for jumping on board here at Talking Models. I pray that you keep jumping on board. We got lots coming. And I'm trying to get to 300. I think I'm at 215. You guys are just blowing me away. Thank you for your support. Get the word out on this channel so others can enjoy it alongside of you. So once again, thank you for stopping in to Talking Models. And as always, may the Lord bless your day.